Hey,
Hey everybody!
how's it going?
Hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well.
No, I meant them.
Oh, hope you're doing well too.
So I promised you guys I would do a reaction video to the David and Gillian panel from Chicago. I posted this panel, well, this was back on the 26th, so about a week and a half ago.
Seems so long ago now.
Yeah.
Mostly because of that drive home.
Yeah. So I just want to go over this stuff real quick. Now, I do want to say that I'm not going to be able to go over the whole panel, and some of you heard some of my commentary, which was not necessary during my stream, but I want to apologize for that because sometimes things come out of my mouth. So I just figured I would look at this. I really honestly haven't looked at it since I was there.
I barely looked at it when I was there.
So there are a lot of comments. People have a lot of strong opinions about this, and I want to take a look at those too. But I feel like it's something maybe we should talk about since so many people are voicing a lot of strong opinions that are very opposing, but there's a lot of negativity that I just want to go over real quick.
You know, I think you're talking about the call-out culture in a recent video. I know we've been talking about it a lot off camera.
Yeah, well, the call-out culture is what happened after the con.
Well,
but
even
I have a song.
comments...
I have a song about call-out culture, which is a separate song than my Fandom Police song, which is a separate song from my Fandom Party Pooper song. I have a lot of songs.
No, I think the comments, you know, and the Twitter and social media in general, online in general, social media in general, the call-out culture is so extreme now that normal comments are elevated. Like everything is elevated. And I'm somebody who's generally given to hyperbole. When I'm excited, I'm really excited. When I'm upset, I'm really upset. But in general, just the language online is getting more and more toxic. Like what we consider when we're writing it as this mild dissent is really harsh. You know, there's very little, it was okay. You know, I've been getting in trouble lately. One of our castmates says, I say it's not horrible. You know, it sounds like I'm being negative when I'm trying to be like, you know, I actually liked it, but I'm fighting my tendency to go, wow, that was awesome. And I do it all the time. Then it's like the boy who cried wolf on the opposite side, on the positive side. People don't trust that that was the best thing ever.
Right, because you're always praising that.
But honest opinion, honest feedback, constructive criticism.
You can give criticism without being a dick.
But none of this is constructive criticism.
Well, I think, are you talking about the comments in the videos?
I haven't even read these specifically. I'm talking about 90% of what I see online.
Right.
Is never constructive
outrage.
Criticism. I sound like Trump trying to say anonymous, but it's never constructive.
Why do you have to bring orange Julius?
It's never constructive criticism.
Walking Cheeto.
But
cheesy poof.
But 90% of it out there is just bitching and moaning.
There's a lot of that, but I do think that some people do need to be called out, like Roseanne and other people, when you're completely offensive. I think people jump to it too quick on certain people without having all the facts.
Well, even her thing was a call out of the other woman, the woman who used to work for Obama, and Clinton.
She made a racist comment,
very racist, and very harsh.
And she should be called out.
That needs to be taken down.
But you should not be called out if you are not racist and you make a tweet about Frasier, #Frasier. Frasier, the TV show.
You're lying about somebody being racist, especially in a time
that is fucked beyond belief.
When there's legitimately horrible racists out there,
you can be a little racist or a lot of racist, but a racist is a racist as far as I'm concerned.
Or totally making up a lie altogether.
Well, totally making up a lie is a different story.
Let's talk about comments on your video.
Well, I don't want to do that. I was just going to look at the video and react to it just a little bit. We obviously can't sit and talk and watch the whole thing. So, take some time.
Wait, please talk really quick. Pause it real quick.
This is Ellie.
Is it me? Oh, thank you, Ellie, for taking this video. It's great because you were busy periscoping, right?
Thank Ellie for this. Yeah, I had 7,000 people watching my Periscope.
Pretty
Holy
impressive.
Crap.
Is this the best couch they could have gotten? I don't want to be so negative.
It doesn't look comfortable.
It looks kind of like 1970s office lobby furniture. And again, I am not a designer. You could even gotten plainer that looked more modern.
We're sitting on a futon. Look at what
I'm not complaining.
This is our
but
makeshift
for like
studio.
Celebrity panels, they seem very, I don't know.
Well, at New York Comic Con, they have a table,
right?
A tablecloth and chairs.
So yeah, it's more of a dais.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. Maybe this is a different style.
I liked
before they're doing a little
Montreal
loungy. Yeah,
Montreal. They
chairs,
have
right.
Well, they did. They had little couches or chairs,
or something.
But they also have like the way they design their stage. They have their little they have their little character, their little superhero character that is the Montreal Comic Con logo.
That thing creeps me out. That thing creeps me out.
It creeped me out online a lot of times, but as a backdrop, I love the backdrop. I like the way they set up their stage in the main panel room. Yeah. I thought it was very cool. And
well, David was more attentive to this con.
Well, that's because Gillian was there.
Oh.
And I'm not going there. I'm just saying they have a certain chemistry.
Hey, I just want to say, Evelyn, thank you so much for giving me this. This is quite...
How?
Sorry. This is very... Evelyn gave it to me.
I'm over here.
Thank you. I didn't mean to hit Walt with it, but thank you for it. Anyways, I just wanted to get Walt off the subject. I'm sorry I hit you.
I'm sorry. Just getting started. We're talking about the video.
Let's get going.
Yeah.
So they come out, like, I don't want to take apart everything they do, because part of it is, like, people picking apart everything they do. And you can't do that.
Oh my god, they're walking.
They walked. They walked, and they sat. So, thank you again, Ellie. You did
nice
a great
zoom,
job.
Ellie.
Thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. So again, thank you for coming out.
I just am thinking about how big David's foot is right here. It's so distracting.
We can talk a little bit later about, perhaps the future, if it exists.
So that is an interesting look. Like, what future? There is.
Yeah, that's a look to her fans. Did he not know what you guys know?
He doesn't know that there is no future. And I think that right off the bat made things awkward, because it's pretty much over, and
But they didn't dwell on it, though.
No, but it was definitely, it might be a sore topic.
I don't like talking about it being over.
Yeah, see, and I don't think David wants to talk about that either, because I get the feeling that he wants to continue. He said as much, and she's done. So, and he said they'll go on without her if they need to. Like, I feel like they're not in the same place, like we said about their interview, that they feel differently about how it ended.
Well, the conversation where they talk to each other.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we said then that they're not in the same place.
Right, they're in different places. She's already going on, and he's got other stuff too going on. But I think he's willing to come back and do more, and she's obviously done. So I feel like that automatically when he said that, like the look on her face, and also all of us are like, ugh. I don't know if there's a groan from the audience or not.
But I'd love to kick things off.
Yeah, she's like,
Am I hearing an echo?
You know what's funny? We hear the echo, and they don't hear the echo. I've been out.
So I fast-forwarded to the fan questions, because this is where it started getting interesting.
Can I just say, and I'm not making a comment about this panel in general, I almost always detest the fan questions. Not just with X-Files.
They make me anxious.
Most
because
fan
you never know what's going to
questions,
happen.
And there's been some gems, there's been some great ones, but most of the the people that too often get up are just either they're so self-absorbed within
or completely clueless.
Their fan of I don't like, some of them are just creepy. Some of them are just
I remember Nipple Man. You weren't there for Nipple Man.
I wasn't there for Nipple Man.
Yeah, that was
I remember the guy who was dressed as Batman in Pittsburgh way back when, who was just
weird,
awkward, and there's just characters. The one that was dressed as Deadpool.
Yeah, I remember
was
that.
scary, creepy. Like his question, weird. And Mitch and David were both kind of
like WTF.
And then the ones that are very few are really great, and I think people are so. It's hard. I mean, the few times we've interviewed some of these guys, it's hard because you want to do something that's original. Some things, the ones are just rehashing the same old. Do you believe in aliens? Do you, we don't want to hear that ever again. One. We don't want to hear Robert Duchovny's story ever again. We don't want to hear, and that's more David saying, no, nothing against him. We go to a lot of events. We've heard it too many times,
but not
right?
everyone has heard it. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone has heard it.
I'm pretty sure
the cat has heard it.
Then you have the people that are trying to scratch the surface of something that's not there by being too original. This is always the problem of an artist, being grounded enough in reality, but if it's too original, it's not grounded in anything, and you're just making stuff up. It's based on your own fantasies or whatnot.
Yeah.
And the best questions, I have to say, in Chicago at this panel, as well as the Michael Rooker panel. There were one or two Ghostbusters questions I thought were good as more of a discussion. But the ones from the kids, because they're completely honest. Or the kid from Montreal that we met at our show in Montreal, like, she had the perfect question. Sometimes it's because when the kid asks it, it doesn't sound creepy. It's a legitimate question. You know what I mean?
It can sound
it's
creepy.
Innocent.
Kids are creepy, man.
Some kids are creepy. But these questions, they're so innocent, they're so pure. There's no agenda. They just want to know.
Right.
You know? And I feel like with too many people, there's like an agenda or...
I don't know if there's an agenda, but this question I thought was good. It was the one that Carly set up. I think it was actually Lacey that asked it. But I
didn't realize it was Lacey when she asked it.
My question is, if you could say one thing to your fans over the last 25 years, what would it be?
I'm so
Why
sorry.
are people laughing? Why was I laughing? Maybe I was looking at David's face. I don't know. I look at his face, sometimes it makes me laugh.
I don't get it.
I'm sorry it's over for you. I'm sorry it ended the way it ended. I'm sorry it's so many different.
So,
Clearly they're not on the same page.
yeah. So
I'm sorry that we worked 25 years to bring you stuff.
I don't know.
I know she's unhappy.
No, but I don't blame her because a lot of fans are unhappy with the way it ended, and considering she was given the script a day before they had to film it. I mean, David even confirmed that with us in his interview, and I don't think that was good.
Right.
Without saying anything bad about Chris, because I don't want to be disrespectful to him because he did bring us this show, and I have respect for him. But you can have respect for someone and not agree with everything they do.
Yeah, and I respect her opinion.
Yeah, no, I appreciate her saying that because I feel like she probably didn't expect to get a script to find out, whoa, Scully's 54 years old and pregnant. So, and I know we have a lot of different opinions on how that should end. Some think it's romantic, some think it's cute, some think it's crazy.
I thought it was a beautiful moment.
Okay, well, there we go.
I mean, in the same way, I understand more making CSM the father of William being more problematic for a lot of people. No, I know, but I understand that being more problematic.
It's very
that
problematic.
choice,
and the medical
but that
rape.
choice creates drama. You know, it creates angst and ire.
Yeah, but there
and,
are ways of creating drama without making it
think Babylon.
1980s soap
Chris
opera.
is running out of ideas.
So we had to reel everything back to what we were saying. Obviously, fans are in very different places, and maybe they're in different places with how the ending happened.
Like, I thought season 11 was perfect.
And a lot of people didn't think season 11 was perfect.
I respect that.
And a lot of people did. And
David was great.
And a lot of people loved it. I think Gillian was great.
David
was great. I think both of them were incredible in their roles. And I feel like they delivered some very heartbreaking moments, especially in the last episode. But we just had a little disagreement over it because it has to do with man and women issues. And he's pouting now. Okay, we have to...
Oh, I thought it was something.
That's all.
I thought it was something else.
thought it was something else.
Top that motherfucker.
Well, you're laughing. You couldn't even hear what she was saying.
That was for both of us.
Oh, because the echo.
Have you ever been? Oh, I mean, clearly the show had a cult status and has a giant fan group, but even the characters themselves have become pop iconic.
Crazy fan group. It's giant is good because it was so giant you wouldn't run into other crazies and the crazies wouldn't know each other. Like, I wish we were as big as Marvel because then like you could just kind of like disappear into the abyss of fans. Like, it's a small cult fandom, and there's no way to like avoid certain people.
There are millions of people that love this show. It's the crazies that talk about it all the time on
like us.
Twitter.
I don't know.
You looked in the mirror and thought, I'm an icon.
But,
See, they should just interview each other.
Yeah, I started to
Nothing
think,
against the other guy.
I walked around in New York City and I was like, yeah, everybody wearing a suit. They're Mulder.
It's funny.
All dressed as Mulder.
So this got awkward too. This is the Scully's hair.
She got one for you.
For you.
Put it on your wall.
I feel like that would look great back to back with just like a Mulder, just consistent.
Was this really a gift that he gave back?
No, it wasn't a gift. I don't think.
Oh, he said, "Oh, it's for you."
A lot of these are very similar.
Everything is different.
That's why you're a man.
That's why you're a man.
No, my dear, there are other reasons.
Now, to be fair, he did notice that I got a haircut. So
The other reason why you're
I can't even see it.
he did notice I had a haircut though.
I wish he had shown it.
For Darren.
Right.
You're talking about smoked
Hi there,
potatoes.
welcome to Chicago. Hope you're having a good time. And my question is going to be a little on the strange side. Two strange questions.
Okay,
Right away, I'm scared to.
this dude.
Well, I want to record this for posterity, sir. Anyway, my question.
Posterity like your friends?
No, just my personal collection of
Oh,
strange
he was
questions
being
I ask.
sassy as hell, man. He's
David
like,
or
David.
yeah, he's like, "If you're gonna talk to me, talk to me."
Yeah, I don't know if I'd have a camera out if I was talking to him unless I told him I was filming and it was an interview.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a camera out one-on-one with him. I've never even asked him for a photo when I wasn't paid for.
Right.
Because
Now, the only thing I have to
Only
say
once, but-
against David on this is, what is the answer to that question that isn't awkward? You know what I mean? Or unless he's really hoping he's going to put it away at that point. You know what I mean? I think this is something you learn when you do an improv, I think, a lot. And when you do
Be here
improv a
now.
lot, you're being in the moment, but you learn to say certain things for shock value, for fun, but then you realize certain things, if you say them, they're going to create more awkwardness than humor.
he's like, nope, not awkward
right?
at all. Nothing wrong here.
It's like a non-yes and moment. You're not yes-anding the guy that has a camera. It's like, oh, you're blocking his intention. No matter how much you have a problem with it, by not yes-anding it, you're creating, and they're doing it to each other a lot in these interviews, and the moderator and and this is interviewing 101 that comes from the improv world. Anything that's kind of like not a yes and moment creates a potential awkward moment.
Right.
And stops, like there's just nowhere to go from that until somebody says, okay, I'm just going to go forward.
Well, now here's the question.
The question is, okay, let's break the fourth wall. If you could break the fourth wall and go back to season 1 of the Xfiles, you, the actor, are talking to your character. So, Mr. Duchovny, you are talking to Mulder, Ms. Anderson, you are talking to Scully. If you could give them one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't do it.
So I just saw his face.
I like your advice so far. I'm sorry.
You can hear me laughing because all I did was
If I didn't do it,
laugh
then it'd be
at his
sorry.
face because it's so.
I think I was sinking in my chair.
It was.
I'm worried by the whole scenario.
Ms. Anderson, you are talking to Scully. If you could give them one piece of advice, what would it
This is
be?
where somebody's trying to
Don't
be far
do it.
too clever by far. Right? Well,
I
they
like
think
your
they're
advice so
being
far. I'm
clever.
sorry.
Like, a premise is not
thing
terrible.
I know he heard us
If I didn't do
laughing.
it, then it'd be sorry.
I think the reason why he's smirking is because he knows we were laughing at his
I'm
face.
worried by the whole
He keeps looking at
scenario.
me.
He looked at me a lot,
trying to make
but he
it
kind of just like stared at me like, "Get me off this place."
Like, why does he even do these? I guess, you could sit through it for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and realize there's a paycheck at the backstage waiting for you and just put up with it. But I feel like that's what's going on. You know what I mean? It's like, why? It's like, God, I hate this shit.
Wow, you're being mean now.
No,
That's what
no.
a lot of the comments are. They're saying they don't want to be there, and David looks bored.
But I'm saying I'm okay with that. I agree. I understand why. I'm understanding of it. I'm not condemning them for that
No.
fact.
I wouldn't say that.
There are
I mean,
moments-
He might like to enjoy the.
No, I think he would
interaction.
love it to be a better
I think he
experience.
likes the one-on-one stuff better.
Yeah.
When people meet him at photo ops and things like that, they have a really good experience with him.
Well, not to give ourselves too much credit, but
We don't get
what
any
we
credit.
do is-
don't ever give us
no,
credit.
that's not the point. But when we had our interviews with David, with Mitch, maybe to a lesser extent with Bill, we just had a conversation.
Right.
Well,
Mitch forgot that we were filming and went way off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We had to turn off the video
He's like,
because
don't
he was
get
almost
it.
too comfortable with us.
Yeah.
We're just having a conversation,
So,
and he starts
guys,
talking politics.
The moral of the story is let us moderate a panel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, I think that's a great solution to all the problems.
Just us moderating a panel.
Or when you moderate, just have the conversation.
Well, this guy's good, though.
I think he's good, but you can even hear his voice. He's a little nervous.
Well,
He's
yeah,
trying to impress.
I don't blame him. I would be nervous too.
You know, well, part of it is we work for ourselves. We're not trying to
Right.
we're not trying to impress anybody.
No, absolutely.
He has a boss. He's got
It's a lot.
people he answers
and this
to.
fandom, you're not going to make everyone
No.
happy. You're not going to make a lot.
But all
of
these
happy.
people, they're like, you
These
get up
people are
there.
very critical of everything.
You're trying to impress somebody.
Right.
You're trying to get something. You're trying to be original. You're trying to do this. You're trying to do that. You're not trying to do... Instead of just being in the moment and just having a conversation.
It's so hard to do that. It's
It
so hard.
is, but it's all ego and insecurity that gets in the way.
Yeah, I know. Well, yeah. But this wasn't really even that. This is just a very weird, awkward question that made things even awkwarder.
Well, I think the
as
whole
we're
panel
going
had
through
that
this
feel,
whole
though.
Panel through of
Yeah.
awkwardness,
Right.
And
part of it's because they're not on the same page,
handled
right?
it. This guy's handled it better probably than I
Oh,
would
he
have.
did
I
great.
probably would have run off the stage.
Right.
At this point, I would have ran away.
Right.
I would have just started laughing uncontrollably, and I wouldn't have been able to continue. Mm-hmm. Which maybe would have broke the ice a little bit, but I don't think I would have been.
So I think the two of them do better when it's just the two of them.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I think Mitch is better at filling the awkward moments. Let's just have fun.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, a lot of
so
people don't
when
like...
Mitch is there, we don't get anything from anybody else.
Right.
But I think it's also
But
because
he also steps up and
he fills the gaps. Yeah.
And a lot of people complain, like, oh, we don't want Mitch there. And I'm like, guys, come on, really? Like,
Well, you get more out of them, clearly, because he's not there. But Mitch, I think, is better at handling those awkward moments.
Yeah.
And just having fun.
Well,
I'm just going to have fun no matter
them
what.
And has been around with him.
Yeah. And he's going to be brutally honest sometimes.
And Dave is annoyed the guy's filming himself, and then he asks this ridiculous question that how...
Yeah.
Look
at this still. Both of their faces are, in their own way, WTF.
Like, what the... Well, I don't blame him. That guy's weird. That's a
David's
question.
making the face. And
panic face?
Yeah, that's the panic face. Yeah. And
once
Gillian
again, I'm
is
just
like,
fixated on his foot.
Oh, right.
My question is, in what ways do you think the X-Files and the character of Scully would have been different if it had been written from a more feminist perspective?
Okay, so you heard an ooh, and then you heard some yay! This question again, I think, made things uncomfortable. You heard the shift in the crowd. You heard people go ooh.
Now, can I just say...
Now let's get back on topic.
Well, no, based on this question, I disagree with this being such a controversial question. I think it's a great question.
Right.
It's a great question, and I like her answer.
So, this is what she said.
It would probably be less focus on her reproductive abilities.
I appreciate that.
Pretty sure. It would be less of an obsession. And, you know, I think on the one hand, as we can see from all of the fans and the impact that she did have, and she, you know, regardless, is and remains a feminist icon.
Yes.
I think that there are a few areas where, given the facts, that maybe it falls a bit short of that, or it feels like she doesn't live up to the potential of what that could be.
Well, here's the thing. Okay. No, I just feel like, you know, she was written to be a lot stronger than Mulder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sometimes physically, definitely mentally, definitely more grounded. She's strong. She's a smarter, obviously. Not smarter, but she's more educated because she is a doctor.
She's a medical doctor. He's like a psychologist.
Yeah. And he's, you know, Mulder's very brilliant, but, you know, she's obviously, more times than not, she's been the person that has saved his ass.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times. So, I agree with that.
There's also an element of, you could say certain things about how they could write her differently. I don't know if you could have somebody stronger in a world that, I mean, you could have somebody like a Mariska in Law & Order, you could have a scandal-type character, but here's a character going to the FBI, which is a boys' club, right? And so you have a strong female character navigating a boys' club, basically. And I think
babysitting a boy.
She's babysitting a boy.
Babysitting a boy.
She's
basically.
navigating guys that are stabbing each other in the back politically.
Right. And I don't know if that's necessarily the best thing for a female. Like, oh, here's your job, babysit this boy.
No, but I think it's a reality that I think it's a very real thing. And you could tell me if I'm wrong. People that have had positions of power as women, you know, in this world, there's unless you're owning your own business.
Even then.
Yeah, when you're owning your own business, I think, you know, if you're Scandal, what's her name, Kerry Washington's character, and you actually are the boss, and you still have to go out and deal with a world that
right.
There are guys.
Olivia
Pope has to go out and deal with the man's world, right? That's slowly coming around, but look at Wall Street. You know, if you're like a VP on Wall Street, you're still navigating what is still very much a man's world, and you know, and it's less and less. It's more and more balanced. But people that are like the highest powered Wall Street woman will tell you it's still hurdles every day and bullshit she has to deal with every day just to survive every day.
Right.
At that echelon, right? So here's somebody who's like almost like a middle manager. She's case files. She's a special agent, but she's got. A.D. Skinner, who seems to be pretty cool and lets her, you know, is not a misogynistic pig. But clearly everybody else, like all those guys from the pilot that you see come back later, right? That gets shot when he gets, you know, that whole, in the conference room.
Section chief. And
right. Blevins, right?
Yeah, and
right.
at some point Chris Carter makes an appearance. I think it was like
all those guys are completely misogynistic to her. When she's in the room with them,
right?
In the office, in the pilot, in the conference room later on, where they're talking about where Mulder may or may not be.
That's reality.
That's what I'm saying.
That's reality.
It's like if you wrote it from a more feministic standpoint, would it be real?
I don't know.
You know?
It's like that now if you go to certain boys' clubs.
Now, you could rewrite the whole story that it's the story of Scully, and it really is in many ways, like Chris has said. But, and this is not counting the last couple seasons and things, the choices that were made in the last couple seasons. I think, yeah, they wrote her weaker.
The pregnancy, all this other stuff.
The pregnancy, where even what they did with her in the movie, I thought... I think in some ways they're trying to write her stronger and it backfired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Every time you could almost argue, Chris, maybe every time they separated her from Mulder was to put her up on a pedestal.
Right.
And it just backfired on him a lot.
Right.
My question is, how are you both similar to your characters, Scully and Mulder, and how is your relationship in real life similar to Scully and Mulder's, if at all?
So you mentioned a second ago about trying to separate, you know, the different characters themselves, but you know, naturally as an actor, they're going to bring some stuff.
Well, this is the point. Those questions are really tough because, to be honest with you, as an actor, you know, it's your magic trick what you do, and it's not magic. So if you give away the magic trick, then there's no more magic. So try not to answer or even deal or even think deeply about a question of how I'm the same as the character that I'm playing, because it would just really depress me to actually go, if you know what I mean. The other part of your question is just real personal, and I wouldn't answer that.
Well, I think she's talking about our relationship.
I know.
Oh, okay.
If you'd like to answer, go ahead.
Well, we don't sleep in the same bed. Although I'm not quite sure they do either.
Well, I don't know about that. What kind of bed do you sleep in?
Good wordplay, good wordplay. It must get frustrating sometimes, right, to be these characters, like not only seeing these characters, because obviously other great works, but to have people come up always and want you to be these people.
I have to give it to the moderator for jumping in a little bit here and trying to ease up because I would have just run away. I literally would have dropped the mic, and not like mic drop, like boom. I would have just been like, bye-bye, and I would have run. I probably would have run away. It's uncomfortable.
Now I want to say
I don't. What?
I don't want to condemn these questions.
No, and
per
I don't want to condemn the fan.
I don't want to dwell on it. If you ask
that question, I do not.
I'm not condemning the individual.
I don't have anything.
Because in the moment we're all kind of like going.
Shit for it. Yeah, we're all just like.
But the only reason we're talking about it because we're making a video about it. I never want to condemn the individual. You know, it's but these choices and questions. You know, it's not the individual. I don't want to condemn anybody.
I don't think anyone should be condemned.
And it's not like the other guy who was just outright creepy. You know, these are the kinds of questions that I always felt like as an actor, people just don't understand. Our characters are not us.
Right, exactly.
And every character we play, there's a part of us, but every character we play is different from us also.
Yeah, no one in life hands you something and you are following a script.
Mm-hmm.
You follow your own script in life. When someone else gives you a script and tells you this is happening in this character's life,
right?
It's not you. And you might bring elements of yourself into that character, but it's not you because obviously someone else is writing your life for you. You know?
He doesn't even make a joke about it. You know, she makes a little joke about it. He doesn't even want to make a joke about it because he knows it's not even a fear. He knows. We all know.
Be put into a GIF.
Somebody's gonna put it into a GIF. Somebody's gonna twist it. Yeah. Somebody's gonna go on Tumblr and blast it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not worth even jesting about.
No.
It takes a lot of, with all the cameras, like you said at the concerts. Even it takes a lot of fun because he's so afraid to be himself.
The wrong thing or like quoting out of context.
You
get a soundbite. Sorry, I may have contributed to that. But
right.
It's my own fault. Usually, I don't do it to make if I.
Well, you're just videotaping.
Well, yeah, but I don't.
But it's the people that.
I'm pretty picky about what I post. Like, if I post something that I don't think is good, I won't post it because I'm like, well, that wasn't.
Yeah, but you also don't nitpick every little thing and turn it into like the end of the world.
No, I don't judge. Like, if I see something that's like, if I hear something that I feel like could be perceived as negative, I will just cut it right out.
Right.
But I don't know.
But again,
my goal is always to make him look good, so I don't.
It goes back to
I'm a little biased here.
Right. Now, this question's not as awkward as the sex question.
So, let's get to that, because I didn't think that was all that awkward. I thought it was hilarious, but I just thought it was mildly inappropriate for a Saturday afternoon panel.
Right.
Then again, suck my dick is also a little bit inappropriate for a Saturday.
There's kids.
Yeah, I know, but she said suck my dick. There's no... Now... Whether or not our friend with her 9-year-old daughter has got to go home and explain. Let's get to that question. Hold on.
Yeah, which is great and nice. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, I think it's more love and support. It's coming from a place, love and support, not.
So right after that, there were two questions in a row that were kind of like.
Awesome. Hey.
Thank you. Hi. So as season 11 showed us, Mulder and Scully are in fact having sex. So I was wondering, who tops?
I died.
It was pretty funny.
Hang on a second.
You're laughing. I can hear you.
I'm just wondering.
I know, but does that even exist in the heterosexual world?
It absolutely does. It can
does
exist
it?
in any form. Yeah.
Well, because most of the time you're flipping each other around. Whereas,
it's funny,
right? Whereas.
So everybody in that audience now knows how Gillian has sex.
Oh my god.
Who has control when they have sex?
Oh my gosh, stop! Okay, at this point, David's face is just like, what?
I will be answering these questions.
This seems like a good spooning
but
couple.
I don't think I need to answer the question. we know this.
That's what fanfic is for, guys. Come on. Don't tell me you don't write fanfic.
And the guy had the brilliant answer. Let's leave the fanfic.
Yeah, well, that's exactly, but like, yeah, that was what fanfic is for. Although because they were talking in context to their characters, I thought it was fine. And David obviously didn't want to talk about it because it made him uncomfortable, and the question before made him uncomfortable, so I respect that. And I personally thought it was funny, but then it's just my opinion. I was laughing. Part of it was nervous laughter. Part of it was like, oh, this is kind of inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? I think at this point, he looks pretty much done. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. This is just this whole panel, like everything we've gone over is quite nerve-wracking.
Well, there's
some of these questions are just uncomfortable.
At best, every single question's a hypothetical.
So, well, I hope that painted a nice picture in a few people's heads for fanfic.
Yeah, that's like having sex like a wet fish now.
Okay. Anyways, I think this is pretty much it. I don't really think there's a whole other video, but I don't know what happens. So we just wanted to go over some of these comments. I I'm not showing the whole name of the commenters because I really don't want people to go and mob and like troll these comments, and I don't want to discourage anyone for making a comment because I welcome all conversation and I want to hear feedback, good, bad, indifferent. Here, I want to hear it here on my YouTube videos. I really appreciate anyone that leaves a comment, even if it's a not nice comment. I just want to tell you that. I do not appreciate it when it's being subtweeted, indirectly, posted on a blog, and has absolutely nothing to do with these videos. So I just want to say thank you guys for commenting and giving me feedback, because you know, I think there's gonna be a difference of opinion. So thank you guys, and I encourage you to keep commenting how you feel about all this stuff, because I think it gets people emotions high. We just had like an argument about it. So yeah. So someone said David needs a stick up the butt dispeller. I disagree. I think he had I think there's a good reason why he may have gotten a little bit uptight. And I still don't know how uptight he really was, because he was still making jokes, and, you know, I thought he handled it pretty well. I think there are a couple things, a lot of different factors that played into it being awkward. So I don't want to read too much into it, because, you know, as we mentioned, people are just picking apart every little thing.
Yeah, my experience with David. You don't want to say the wrong thing. My experience with David is when he's being stiff, it's because somebody's being awkward.
Right.
You know, there's something that's making him uncomfortable, and he kind of shuts down.
Right.
And like I said, with our interviews, when you just smile and have a conversation, have fun.
Right.
You know, and if you say something, you know, that's a little out of line, that's pushing the boundary, he'll call you on it.
Right. Well,
you know, and
I feel like I don't think this isn't a Barbara Walters interview.
Yeah.
And it's not like, I think I tweeted this, like, you shouldn't feel the panel like the actors are being grilled, you know? And I feel like they were grilled a little bit.
I think I feel like people have an agenda with a lot of these questions.
Some of them do. And I don't want to, like, say anything bad about fans, because I really do support and have respect and understand that people want different things.
Right.
And I don't want to poop on other people, because that would make me a hypocrite, because I don't like it when other people poop on me.
There was a question that was down below that said, why does he get uptight over MSR questions?
Right.
And
right. Yeah.
Why does he get so annoyed?
Yeah.
And I don't think he gets annoyed.
I just want to say I love the person that left this question. I love you.
But I think it's not so. There's a difference between MSR questions.
She said it's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird, but
it was weird.
Does he get like normal, like they love each other questions, or asking about the sex?
All right, it was a little awkward. The question was a little awkward.
I'm saying that's beyond a normal MSR question.
Yeah, that's a little different. Yeah.
You know, I know there's people that want to see the Fabio moment in this show.
He looks like he doesn't want to be there.
I don't think he does.
They seem like strangers in this interview. I disagree. I think she picked up on his. She picked up on him being a little bit uncomfortable, and she filled in for it. So I don't feel like they were strangers at all.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
They seemed like totally chill with each other, completely relaxed with each other. The only thing is he was not relaxed, but it wasn't because of them. It's because, you know, I think these fan questions, you never know what they're going to ask. You don't know when they're going to say something that really makes you uncomfortable. And I understand having anxiety about it. You got to understand, like, people don't respect anxiety of celebrities. They have anxiety just like you and me. And I'm not saying that's what David's problem is, but you gotta understand that, like, if you ask some things that might make them feel awkward, don't ask it, you know? Well, I don't know if they did it intentionally to make them feel awkward. Maybe they thought they'd be funny, or maybe they thought they would laugh about it. I don't know. His dry sense of humor. Yeah, that's how he is. He's actively avoiding looking at Gillian. That's not true. There are plenty of times where they looked at each other.
I think he's looking to the audience.
Yeah, he does that. He seems very distant. Okay, so yeah, I agree. Not all the questions were mundane, but I did love that comment because some of them were. Anyways, there are a lot of similar comments that are like this, and I think as Walt said, it comes out to, and now you've picked up my call-out culture reference, which I started saying last week because...
Yeah, it's been in my ear a lot.
Yeah, because I made that rap, but we're not going to give it away yet, but I made a rap about it.
Give it away
let's
now.
Not give away my rhymes. Okay. I think some of it has to do with being afraid of saying the wrong thing, being quoted out of context, having a soundbite that just comes off as wrong. And I think there were people that took some of his quotes from AlienCon, which I didn't even watch the panel because I wasn't there. And honestly, if I'm not there, I'm not going to watch it at this point. So, because a lot of it's the same stuff. So, but people were complaining about something he said, saying that he was, kind of saying he didn't want to answer MSR questions. Mm-hmm. And again, they were really getting on his case about it. And then they ended up getting on the case of the moderator, which I don't agree with either. Like, I just am like, this is, yeah.
You gotta
be careful with what you say.
I can't help to go back to my improv teaching in the sense that I teach that you can't open up and do graded improv if you don't create that safe space.
Right.
And if you want these guys to open up and just riff and have fun, then you got to make it easier for them.
Right.
Yeah, I think everyone in this fandom at some point, myself included, has probably been judgmental about something to the point where... That's what I'm saying, that it's very hard for them to be themselves. David's not good at pretending he's having fun.
Nope.
That is not his talent.
Nope, me either.
He is so... Well, right. He's telling you...
He is me.
But this isn't David upset. This is like David, uninspired.
Right.
Uneventful. Like, I'm here.
Yeah.
And when there's a good question, he does brighten up.
He does.
Got the exclusive where he's talking about he created that moment.
Right.
I think it's the first time he ever talked about that.
That's the first time he talked about the end of plus
and
one.
And then after that, he shared it other places.
Yeah.
But he shared it with us first, and then his whole experience the last day of filming.
Yeah.
And because we were interested in him as an artist, he loves talking about that stuff.
Yeah.
I bet you both the one question, like, what was the thing and the other person did? They
that
really
was great. Yeah, they loved each other's
work. I loved
work.
their work.
Right.
That question got them to open up.
Because you're going to keep it about their work.
Yeah.
And you're respecting them as professionals. And they're up there as professionals. Right. And they're up there to answer questions about professional things and how things that are, as far as David goes, things that stimulate his mind. Right. Because he is very, very smart. And Gillian is extremely intelligent too. Right. So if you ask stimulating questions, and don't even start with the stimulation jokes. By stimulating, I don't mean that kind of stimulating.
We don't need to know about Gillian flipping on flopping all over the place
anymore. Vibrators, things like that. I think flippity floppity. I think stimulating questions mentally, not sexually, are a way to go. Which I can understand because fans do want to get to know these actors.
I tell you, actors love to talk shop.
They love to talk shop.
You want to get an actor to open up, get him talking about their craft.
Yes. Definitely. I agree with that.
I think both of these two would love talking about their craft. They don't want to be teachers, but these two doing a master class, just not teaching, but just talking about their process.
Right.
Like, we learn more about acting, I think, in that one moment of him talking about how he just got through. He's hot, he's tired, it's middle and he's pissed, but he put that into his work.
Right.
And holy crap, you could say what you want about the finale, his acting in the finale, Gillian, Mitch, I don't think anybody could say.
I don't think anyone could say
that might be the best acting of his life. He really
I agree.
Killed it.
It was good.
And most of season 11, I think, is some of his best work ever.
And hers.
And she did great
the monologue, like you said.
But she's always been a great... Not to take anything away from him.
Oh, boy.
She's always been a really solid actress.
Oh, you're on the shit list now.
I know. And he's always been good, but the work he did in that season compared to the rest of his body of work is on another level.
Right.
Is heightened. I might... and I don't want to sound like a backhanded compliment.
Oh, man. You're on the shit list
It's
now.
So good. It's not that the other stuff is not. It's
I
just
agree.
So
I thought
good.
It was fantastic. I thought they all were fantastic.
She's
Any
always
script you put in front of them, they can turn it into gold.
But like you said, season 11 did not challenge her the way other seasons have challenged her. They didn't challenge her as an actress. She didn't love the choices that were given to her as an actress to make. So,
she didn't have anything to do with
they
the finale.
wrote him a certain way that allowed him to come out, and he beyond rose to the occasion.
Right. She had some meaty stuff in Ghoulie. Like you said, she had that monologue that was great.
Oh my God, and I was even saying, like, with what's her name in +1, Karen Conoval, Emmy.
Right,
Like that
Karen
monologue.
Conoval.
If that does not get
Friend
an Emmy
Judy.
nod, F you to the Emmys.
It didn't. Screw that.
F you to the Emmys.
It didn't. Screw
because
the
that
Emmys.
monologue
Emmys
alone,
suck anyways. Screw them and their awards.
I don't know how much they pay attention to these like revival series.
They
and
don't
whatnot.
care. It's all right. We have our fans. X-Files has our fan base.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Leave a comment below. We'd like to hear your feedback. Like I said, even if I disagree with your feedback, I'm not going to flame you for it. Honestly, I'm open to all opinions, and I've always been open to all opinions. I just am not open to being dicks about those opinions. You know, as soon as people start attacking each other over a difference of opinion,
don't attack them because they don't like one thing they did.
Well.
They might say something like, "Oh my God," but people get so
the whole point is
harsh.
we need to stop judging each other so much and ease up a little bit before we just like jump to like. And you are if you feel like when you watched it like, oh, I feel like this. Go ahead and write down how you felt. You know, your feelings aren't wrong. Your feelings are never wrong. Your feelings are always valid.
You've been a fan for 25 years.
If you look and you watch this panel and you feel disappointed,
right?
You're completely and totally valid.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
want to say
100%.
you're not. And you know what? If you want to vent about it, send me a message on Twitter. You can leave a comment here. I will listen to you because even if I disagree, I'm open to listening and hearing all sides of every story, even sides that probably don't need to be listened to. But
if you want to hear a good panel, go see Michael Rooker.
Oh my God, that panel was great.
That was amazing. And I'm still more of an X-Files fan than a Marvel fan. But
he turned it into a show.
Yeah, he and Palm. The girl who played Mantis, the actress, the French lady, she's hilarious. The two of them need to go on the road. I think him by himself would be too much.
He could do a one-man show.
He could, but it was kind of intense. But the two of them together were like the perfect, like Gracie Allen and George Burns. You know, like it was.
They were funny
in a modern way.
You didn't need to interview him. Walt's
Ow!
I barely touched you.
You hit my funny bone.
I'm sorry. That means he's not funny anymore. Guys, thanks again for watching. We're gonna do an outro now. That was our outro. Thanks again for watching. Leave a comment below. If you're not subscribed to this channel, subscribe. I have some songs coming out. I keep talking about them, but I'm not actually...
Oh my God, they're awesome.
They're good. They just take time to record and make them sound good because sometimes I sing and it doesn't sound good. It just is what it is. Or it sounds good, but like the mic is not, it's too close and it's screechy, like stuff like that.
It's always the mic's
But
fault.
my one song, the original song that I wrote, not the original, I have, but I've decided... Judgy McGrudgy's song is completely done. I actually have it unlisted.
Oh, there's more to that song?
There's a whole song.
Oh, I thought that was the whole song.
No, that was a sneak peek.
Oh.
Yeah, that wasn't the whole song. I only showed it there's a whole song. It's unlisted here. I can't post it yet because I want to release a video with it. I don't want to release it without the video. I want to do a whole setup into the video.
I'm not getting naked.
The song is completely done. And then I have the Phantom Police diss track because of Eminem and all these other rappers. They've kind of brought the diss track trend back.
It's the thing to do.
It's really not the thing to do, especially when you're our age, but it doesn't mean I'm going to act my age. So I'll be doing that.
What are you, Gillian, age shaming us?
I'm age shaming myself.
God,
yeah.
Gillian.
Well, I did get age. A few of my friends got age shamed on Twitter. And to all you, fuck you. Oh, you're supposed to do the hoo-hoo-hoo. I just say, if you're going to be age shaming people on Twitter, make sure that you look as good as us now at your age. If you're a 20-something, 30-something, and you don't look this good...
In other words, stop smoking, stop doing drugs, stop drinking anything but tequila.
Or have better genetics, because hell, if you look this good at my age, then we can talk.
I don't want to brag.
Then, shut your mouth. Yeah, you don't look like us at our age.
Although I think the only reason I don't have stretch marks is because I just keep getting fatter.
Not a fucking wrinkle on your face. It drives me crazy. Not one.
46 what?
He has no wrinkles. Anyways, thanks again, guys.
Not above the neck.
Yeah. All right, on that note, we're going to say goodbye. Bye.